Let us continue our exploration of the five aggregates, both experientially and also with understanding and wisdom. This time we are in the domain of perception, sanya, and today we will particularly focus on the conditioned aspect of perception. So for that purpose, let's get into our meditation postures. We are sitting upright and relaxed. You can check whether there's any tension in the body, and if yes, relax that part. Letting go of the past and the future. There's nothing to do other than arousing a sense of curiosity, a wish to investigate into the true nature of sanya, perception. Particularly trying to see how perceptions are conditioned. For this purpose, we can keep the eyes open so that there can be a perception of seeing, an experience of seeing. What is the cause for this experience? How come that there's an experience of seeing? Oh, it's a functioning eye. That's one cause. There's a visual object. It's another cause. Eye consciousness. So when these three come together, the sense door, the sense object, the sense consciousness, we call it contact. And with contact as a condition, there arises perception. Perception of what? Maybe the tiles of the floor in front of us. Then the perception is tile or floor. Or the person sitting in front of you. The perception, person, meditator. The labels we give, these are the perceptions. And of course that happens automatically. So for there to be the perception of floor, there has to be the eye, the actual visual object. Eye consciousness arises. All that together is called contact. And with that as a condition, the experience of seeing, and with it perception arises. This is one way of seeing conditionality with regard to eye consciousness, to perceptions. Maybe we can call it a technical or mechanical way. Often there's also an additional label, not just floor. Often the mind evaluates. Oh, beautiful floor. It's also a perception. Maybe I've seen the same type of floor tile somewhere else. Maybe in my parents' house. Oh, reminds me. Quite nice. So there's a perception, a positive evaluation. Beautiful floor. So it's a perception, conditioned by prior experience, by memories. Or clean floor. Again, that's also conditioned on our personal standards of cleanliness. Maybe another person will not regard that the floor as clean. It's a dirty floor. It's the same floor. Different perception. So again, conditioned by our upbringing, by prior experiences, our perceptions change, can be different. How about sounds? You can hear the cars driving by. There's the perception car or traffic. What is the condition for hearing and for having that perception? Again, in the technical way, there's the sense base, the ear, the traffic. Now there's none. So it's the sense base, the sense object. Ear consciousness arises. Contact. With contact as condition, there comes perception. Or just now, a bird making a sound. Same thing. Ear, sound, hearing, perception, bird. Often we perceive it as very lovely, very nice. The birds are singing. That's also a perception. We like the sound of the birds singing, but we don't like when a motorbike drives by. So all just perceptions. Once I was informed that birds are actually not always just singing, they are often quarreling with each other. So they shout back and forth, and they kind of quarreling about the place, about the food. And once I heard that, my perception changed. Oh, quarreling birds. Not so nice anymore. Nothing has changed. The birds are doing the same as before. But our perception changes. In this case, because of a certain kind of information. That affects our evaluation and our perception. The same principle for smelling, tasting, body sensations. The perception, it is too warm, too hot. It's a perception. Or just right. What is the cause and condition for the perception, or for being able to feel the wind or the heat? There's the sense base, the sensitivity of the skin. There's the sense object, warm air touching the skin, or a wind. Body consciousness arises very quickly. Contact, the experience of feeling the body, and with that the perception. Warm, cool, itchy. Sometimes there's a bodily experience, but then also the mind will comment. For example, the experience of hearing, the traffic, and then the mind will tell some stories. Oh, how come today so much traffic? Isn't it Sunday? What are people driving around for? No need to go to work. Can go by bicycle. So all these stories, comments, they are also perceptions, evaluations. A lot of traffic is a perception. And it's very conditioned again, isn't it? What we call here a lot of traffic. Somebody arriving from KL, listening to the same traffic here. Wow, so peaceful. Nothing going on here. So it's relative, it's conditioned. the way we perceive the world, our inner world, is highly conditioned by our prior experiences, our childhood, the people we have met, the books we have read, life experience. And many of these factors could have gone otherwise, and then my perception would be different. How can I even call it my perception if it is just the outcome of so many different factors playing together? How can I even take ownership of this and call it me or mine, myself? Now you hear a bird, now you're wondering, is it singing or quarreling? You didn't have that thought before. That reflection is also conditioned by what has happened 5 minutes earlier. By the information that we were given. So even our thoughts, our views, our perceptions, they are all conditioned. Not fit to be regarded as me, mine, or myself. We are slowly coming to an end of this meditation. We can open our eyes and get back to normal. So I find actually the perception quite interesting because they are always with us. You don't have to look for them, they are always with you. And regardless whether you see or hear, there's always some experience, right? And also noticing how conditioned they are and how our perception can change, just dependent on a story we hear, or how we look at the world. And even so, nothing outside has changed, but my perception can change. So that also helps not to take oneself too seriously, because we realize that our views, our attitudes, our perceptions are so conditioned by the books we have read, the people we have met, all our experiences. And they're still changing and transforming. So nothing to hold on to, and nothing also to be overly identified with, because the perceptions of now will be different from tomorrow. So which one is your true self? The one of now, or the one from last hour, 5 years ago, or tomorrow? cannot say. So it's in a sense very liberating. Oh, I can let go. It's just perceptions, conditioned things.